beautiful afternoon. You are all welcome. You are all welcome. You are all welcome. Who is online with me? Who is there with me? Who is there with me? Who is online with me? Hi, 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 hi. I'm waiting to see somebody online. Who is online with me? This beautiful afternoon, I'm going to be talking about the topic that says, don't shift your responsibility to teachers. Don't shift your responsibility to teachers. Most of the time, parents don't want to hear this particular topic. They want everything to be taught at school. They want the teacher to teach everything at school. Hello, who is there? Who is there with me? Who is there with me? Who is there with me? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Who is there with me? Who is online with me? This is a very important topic that most parents don't want to hear. They want all responsibilities, everything to be done for their children at school. So what are those things that we shouldn't expect our children to learn from school? Before they come to school, these are things that we are expected to have equipped them with. These are things that they are expected to have known. Yes, these are things that our children are expected to have known. Who is there with me? Who is there with me? Number one, it is at home that children should learn a lot of things. Children should learn how to greet at home. It is at home that children should learn how to greet. It is at home that children should learn how to greet, how to say good morning, how to say good afternoon, good evening, how to say hello, please, may I, I'm sorry, how to be polite. Children are expected to learn all of these things from us at home before we send them to school. But these days, what do we realize? We realize that this responsibility or responsibilities are being left for the school. This responsibility is being left for the school to do. Another thing that we need to teach our children from home before they come to school is we need to teach our children how to fear the Lord, how to be honest, how to be punctual, how to be polite and not insult people, how to respect everyone, their friends, how to respect people around them. Most of the time we realize that these responsibilities are being left for the school to do. I'm a teacher and I know what parents expect teachers to do. They expect teachers to do everything. The first thing I've talked about is number one. Hi, thank you for joining me. Number one, most important thing that we parents have to teach our children before they come to school is how to greet. I realize that we leave this responsibility for the school to do. We leave all of this responsibility. We feel that they will learn everything in school. I tell you, I'm a teacher. I'm at my duty post now. We're having our lunch now, so I just thought to come online. The first thing, the home is the first learning ground for children before they come to school. But what do we do at home? We leave our children, we don't teach them a lot of things that we need to equip them with. So we feel the school should do everything. Now, again, at home, what are they expected to have learned from home before coming to school? Children are expected to have learned their manners at home. Children are expected to have learned manners at home. Hi, thank you. Thank you. Children are expected to have learned manners at home. Manners like eating moderately, how to eat moderately, not eating with their mouth filled with food. Children should have learned personal hygiene from home before coming to school. Some children, when they use the restroom to even flush, I tell you, it's very high. Thank you for joining me. To even flush at school, it's very hard for them to do. And there's a saying that goes that charity begins at home. Can we teach our children the basic things they need to know? Basic things they need to know. Can we equip them with it? Let's teach our children to not to take what does not belong to them. It is at home our children learn manners. Our children learn manners from home before they come to school. Can we teach our children to eat moderately from home? Can we teach them not to speak with their mouth filled with food? Can we teach them about their personal hygiene from home before sending them to school? Can we teach them not to throw their waste, their dirt on the ground, on the floor? Can we teach them to help at home before they come to school? These are basic things that we parents need to equip our children with before we send them to school. Another thing we also need to teach our children, thank you for the thumbs up, I appreciate. Another thing we need to teach our children before we send them to school is they need to learn how to be organized. Most of our children, I tell you, are not organized. I'm a teacher. They are not organized. Our children are not organized. Let's teach them how to be organized. And let's also learn to teach them to use the most acceptable language around. Some of them come to school and they speak their local dialect at school. They don't speak the acceptable language at school. Though at my place of work, this is kept to the minimal. We speak majorly English here. So they don't come to school and speak their dialect at school. Some of them still do. So let's teach our children to use the language the language of their environment at school. Let's also, do you know what they are expected to come to school to learn? Majorly math, English, other subjects. And do you know what teachers are expected to do? We are expected to just build on all these morals you've taught them. We are expected to build on the morals you have taught them. But most of the time, teachers start from the scratch. We start teaching them how to greet, what they are expected to have learned from home, what they are expected to have learned from home. We start teaching them. Those are the things we start teaching them. At home, we as parents are expected to have taught our children how to greet. But basically, we send them to school. And in addition to the math and English and other subjects that teachers have to teach them, we start teaching them how to greet. Please, let's equip our children with these basic things that they need to learn from home, so that we don't make the teacher's work so cumbersome for the teacher. Let's teach our children from home the fear of the Lord. The Bible says that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Let's teach our children to fear the Lord, to love the Lord. Let's teach them not to lie. Let's teach our children morals. Let's teach them to say the truth. But do you know what? They come to school to learn all of these things. They come to school purely, many of them are not honest. They are not honest at all. We start teaching them honesty at school. We start teaching them punctuality at school. We start teaching them how to be polite at school. And these are the things that they are expected to have. And these are the things they are expected to have learned. I'll come to you, ma'am. I'm online, I'll come. Thank you, ma'am. These are the things they are expected to have learned from home. Let's teach our children to love. Let's teach them love. The love of God, the love for one another. These are the things that teachers now, we are teaching them at school. And if they've already have the foundation of all of these things from home, teachers' work will be easy. But our work is not made easy because our children don't have a lot of things. They are not equipped with a lot of things. Most of the time you see students, they walk past the teachers. They don't greet. You can't give what you don't have. You can't give what you don't have. I tell you, you can only give what you have. So let's teach our children this, please. Basically, let's teach our children manners. Let's teach them the love of God and the love for one another. Let's teach our children how to greet from home. This will make the work of teachers to be easy. Our children are not greeting, and it's from the home. It's from the home front. Yes, it's from the home front. So the Lord will help us to equip our children with everything that they need before we send them to school. We shouldn't just send our children to school without equipping them with some basic things they need. We need to teach them manners from home. Parents are the first teachers of their children. Before we send them to school, let's equip them. Let's equip them with what they need. Let's equip them with basic manners. Basic manners like greeting, saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and being courteous to people. Let's teach them these basic things. Let's equip our children with all of these things before sending them to school. Most children don't know how to greet. They can't open their mouth and say good morning. They can't do that because we don't teach them at home. When your children wake up in the morning, do they greet you at home? Let's start from there. Do they greet you at home? Do they greet you at home? Children are expected to greet their parents at home. And when they don't greet at home, you don't ignore it. Call them and tell them, reinforce it, let them know that greeting is a very important culture that they need to have. Another thing we need to teach our children is the love and the fear of God and the love for one another. Some children come to school, they don't love people around them. They don't. They are always fighting. They are not at peace with their classmates. So these are the things we need to teach our children. You tell your child before you drop your child in the morning, don't fight at school. You let them know the consequence of fighting. Do they fight with their siblings? You let them know the consequence of all of these things. Teach your children basic things at home. Teach them manners. Teach them how to eat. Teach them the fear and the love of God. Teach them the love of one another so that they can accept people they come across with as you send them to school. We teachers really have a lot on our hands. We have a lot. We have the responsibility of teaching them to know it. See, we have the responsibility of teaching them verbal reasoning. We teach them verbal reasoning. We teach them math. We teach them, these are the things we teach them. We teach them math. We teach them a lot of subjects. Our responsibility is now to reinforce what you have taught them at home. But what do we see now? Teachers are the ones that are now teaching children how to greet, which shouldn't be. Because charity begins at home. Equip your children with what your children need. Equip your children with what your children need. Charity, they say, begins at home. It begins, see what we teach them. See what we teach them. We teach them language. We teach them verbal. We teach them quantitative. We teach them math and English. Then we are expected to build on what you have already taught your children. But now, basically, we are the ones doing all this job. We are the ones teaching children manners at school, how to behave. We are the ones teaching them how to eat at school, which shouldn't be. All these things are expected to have been taught from home before parents send their children to school. Basic things like greeting. Children come into the class in the morning, they just walk past the teacher without saying good morning. Please, we shouldn't lose all these cultures, please. It is very important. The culture of greeting is very important, and it is gradually wading off. It's gradually going off. Is gradually going down. Our children don't greet. Why? Because we don't enforce greeting from home. We don't enforce greeting from home. When your child wakes up in the morning, your child should greet everybody in the house. And when they don't, you tell them, you enforce it, you make them do it. It's not about how they feel. It is about what is appropriate. It is about what we need to teach our children before sending them to school. It is about what we need to teach our children before sending them to school. Our children need to have manners. We need to teach them manners. How to say I'm sorry. How to say excuse me. How to say please. These are most important things. The things that we parents need to teach our children before sending them to school. But what do we see? I'm a teacher. I'm at my duty post now. This is our break time. But what do we see now? We realize that teachers are the ones, we are the ones enforcing all of these things at school. Then when they get home, all these things are not being enforced. All these things are only being enforced when they come to school. Another important thing we need to teach our children at home is table manners. We cannot do it alone at school. We cannot do it alone here. We need to teach our children table manners at home. How do we treat them? What do we do to them at home? How do they eat at home? How do they eat at home? Do they eat while moving around the house? Do they choke their mouth with food and they talk while eating? These are the things that teachers see. And we are like, where are all of these things coming from? So let's learn to teach our children manners. Manners. We see things as teachers. Children eat and they litter the table, they litter the floor with food. Charity begins at home. All these things start from home. If all these things are not being copied from home, coming to school, it will be very tiring and very tedious work for teachers to do. Please, let's teach our children manners, eating manners. Some of them talk while eating. They can't just keep their mouth shut. They talk while eating. The teachers have to talk and tell them the importance of not eating with their mouth filled. Tell them. Nobody wants to see what is in your mouth. Let them know. Nobody wants to see what is in your mouth. And when you're talking while eating, you may choke on your food, which you don't want to. These are the things we tell them at school. When we tell them at school and teach parents also reinforce all of these things at home, we are working hand in hand. Parents and teachers are expected to work hand in hand. But we are not working hand in hand because most of the time, parents are not doing what they are expected to do at home. It is from home that students or children learn how to be organized. Many of them, their beds are not being laid by them. We do all of these things for them at home. So when you do all these basic things for your children at home, coming to school, teachers will not do all of these things for your child. Teachers will not help keep your child's space tidy. Your child has to do it. So if your child is not being taught at home how to keep his or her space tidy, that child will have great work to do at school will find it so difficult to do it at school. Okay, so sorry, I was talking with somebody, with a child. So as I was saying, as I said, I'm at my place of work, and I don't want the students to come. I don't want their face to be shown because their parents may not like it. Their parents may come across my video, and I don't want them to see their children's faces here. As I was saying, parents and teachers are expected to work hand in hand, but we are not working hand in hand because teachers are being left to do almost everything for children. We are being left to make sure they greet. Excuse me, to teach your child how to greet. Please, if you're not doing it at home, please start it. Start ensuring that your child greets everybody around him or her. It's not about how that child feels. Please, let's learn to teach our children how to greet. It's important. We shouldn't leave all these things for teachers to do. We already have a lot on our hands to do for the children. We already have a lot on our hands to do for the students at school. They should learn their table manners at home. They should learn how to do virtually a lot of things by themselves from home. Parents should ensure, let's be part of our children's lives. Let's be part of their lives. Let's be part of their daily lives. When they come back home, ask them, what did you do at school today? Ask your child, what did you do at school today? So that you can continue from where the teacher stops. Don't leave the work for the teachers to do, alone to do. No, don't leave the work for us alone to do. We have a lot. In developing and growing and equipping your child, it starts from home. Developing your child starts from home. Developing your child morally starts from home. It starts from home, not from school. But what do we see as teachers now? Everything is being left for we the teachers to do. Virtually, we are being left with everything to do at school. It shouldn't be. It should not be. Please, we can do better. We can do better as parents. We can do better as parents. Yes, we can do better as parents. When your child comes back from school, ask your child what your child did at school, so that you can continue from where the teacher stops. That is learning. Learning does not end at school. Learning continues at home. Learning should continue at home. Learning should continue at home. We shouldn't leave all the work for teachers to do. For example, now presently I have 18 students in my class. I teach the primary section. I teach basic 3, year 8. I have 18 children in my class. Last session I taught 29 children. I was only given an assistant. So imagine if learning is only in the class for those children. Do you think they will be able to cope? They won't be able to cope because I am alone with them. Presently, I have 18 and they are grown up. It's 8, 9 years old. So I don't have an assistant. I do everything myself. So I cannot do everything for that child, for children. So learning should continue at home as well. Ask your child, what has your child done in school? What did he or she do in school? Then you continue from there. Let's be part of our children's education. Let's be part of their academic work. Let's be part of it. We shouldn't leave the responsibility for teachers to do. No, please. Let's not leave all the responsibility for teachers to do. I tell you, teachers cannot do everything. That's the truth. If you want me to come and lie to you, I will not. I will not lie to you. The truth of the matter is teachers cannot do everything for your child. Learning should continue. Learning starts from home. When they start coming to school, it should continue at home as well. Learning should continue at home. Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Yes, sir. Well, it's time. Okay. Are they having it here? Okay, no, you can also have it here because I'm going offline and I'm going out now.
not calling. We use other place.
All right, sir.
You are not going to be around.
Yes, I won't be around, sir. All right, sir. Okay, so I'm rounding off now. I just talked about so many things that we as parents need to equip our children with. Thank you. God bless you. See you same time tomorrow.